Hello, my dear students. Today, your mathematics class will be taken by our senior teacher, Mr. Kabindra Das. You know about him, he is one of the evaluator of our school. He will show you the tricks how to secure good marks in your forthcoming examinations. I welcome Mr. Kabindra Das to the class. Sir, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Very good. Today, he will be teaching you mathematics midpoint theorem. You know, from midpoint theorem around 20 marks used to come in all the categories. Your MCQ, 2-mark questions, long questions as well. So enjoy your enjoy your day today, enjoy your class today. Thank you. All the best, Kavindra. Carry on. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, students. How are you, all of you? Hope you all will be fine today. Students, you know that mathematics is a very important chapter, important subject for you. And in this mathematics, you know that we have to practice every subject and every chapter very properly so that we can get a good marks. And you know that, students, as you are all 9th class, so definitely you are prepared for your board examination because you will appear the board exam in the 10th class. Okay, student, myself Kabindra Das. So I am teaching you today a simple things, but before teaching I will ask you some questions and you have to give me the answers. So very simple questions I am asking as you student, 9 students. You see, what is this figure? You can say me now. I am drawing a figure in the blackboard and you tell me about the figure. What is this figure? This figure is, yes, you say, what is this figure? It is? It is a triangle. Very good. So it is a standard. 4 students can also give the answer. Same things, it is a triangles, because from our class 4 and 5 and class from beginning, if you say, if you standard 1, we are using our shape of the figure, shape of the different geometrical figures. Very fine, students. We can give now the name of this triangle. It's called a triangle. Why it is a triangle? Because it consists of 3 angles. Do you know angles? Hopefully, because you are standard 9 student, you are very much acquainted about the angles, types of angles, everything you know. So we'll see that here 3 angles. You may say the name of these angles. This is angle A. But if it is there only in that vertex point, one angle is there, that you can say that it is angle A. You can go for angle B. This is angle C. But when we are giving the name of an angles, we definitely have to write, you should not forget it to write the symbol of the angle and the angle name. ABC means this is B angle. BAC angle means this is A angle. And CAB no means it is C, B and A angle means it is angle B. Like that, you have to give the vertex point should be in the middle of these angles. Vertex point should be in the middle of the angle. Not mentioned. Here if you say BCA, so this is angle C. It is a fundamental thing, students, you know. So why should we go these fundamental things? Because you all are know about the fundamental. But my total today's intention is to know about the triangles and more about it. Because you all are know the all type of triangles are there. You know there are 6 types of triangles. What are the triangles are there? You know that scalene triangle, equilateral triangles, isosceles triangles. According to the sides, it are 3 types of triangles. Again, according to the angles, also there are 3 types of triangles, that is acute angle triangles and obtuse angle triangles, right angle triangles. That already we know about it. But the main factors of inside the triangle, what is that? We have to learn about it today. Being a standard 9 students, you know about it, but I am saying to you what the line is coming from the vertex to the opposite point of the opposite side. You should think that I am giving a line segment AD, where I am saying you D the midpoint of this side BC. What is midpoint? You know that if a line segment is 6 centimeter, then if this D is the midpoint of BC, then this carry that BD is 3 centimeter, CD is also 3 centimeter. That means what happens? BC is divided equally into two parts. How many parts? Two parts. That is what I can say now. BD is equal to half of BC, or also CD equal to half of BC. That means D is the midpoint of BC. You know that the line joining from the opposite vertex to the midpoint of the opposite sides is generally called what? It is called the what? Altitude or medians? It is called the medians. If it is just opposite midpoint, then it is medians. It may seem that here it is altitude, but the altitude and median are just little bit different. That difference you should know about the students. If any line joining from the opposite vertex to the midpoint of the opposite sides, it is generally termed as median. But if the line which is joining from the opposite vertex to the perpendicular to the other sides, the opposite sides, if it is perpendicular, then we can say that it is a altitude. Altitude generally terms as height. Okay, fine. This is the fundamental or basic ideas about the triangles. Now comes to the main points. What is my question is that you should draw now three midpoints of the triangles. You see, here I say D is the midpoint, let here E is the midpoint, let here F is the midpoints. Then how many medians we can draw? Definitely we can draw three medians and three altitudes. Okay, fine. You have got it now, the midpoints of the different sides. E is the midpoints of AB, F is the midpoint of AC. Clear all of you? Now up to this much. Now I am not come to my topic. It is up to your previous knowledge. I recaptured it. Now I am going to the real topic of your subject. In your 8th chapter of your book, you got that midpoint theorem. One theorem is there. That is, you know that my topic is midpoint theorem. My topic is very clear and transparent. Midpoint theorem. That means I can teach about the theorem which is basic about the midpoints. Clear all of you? Now come to the points. Let you join, my question is that let you join EF. Let you join EF. Fine, students? Now you can do it in other way. Just my question that measure the angle. What is the angles? This E angle, A, E and F angle, and measure the angle A, B, C and then compare it. Just you compare these two angles. Here this is one angle and this is another angle. Got my points? So after measuring, students, you can find out if this X, definitely this is also X. We found that angle AEF is equal to angle AB and C. By comparing, we can get what? Angle AEF is equal to measurement of angle ABC. Clear? So if AEF angle is equal to the measurement of angle ABC, then here another property is there. Can you say me which property shows? It is shows also one property. You know that when these two angles are situates are two different lines, by joining another transversal line BE, you see that EF here BC another line joining by a transversal, that is EB. So now AEF angle is equal to EBC angle. Then which property it satisfy? You know that your lines property, in that property you can say get that when the corresponding angles are equal, when two lines are caught by a transversal line, and if corresponding angles are equal, this, let L line and M line, it is already you have taught in the, you have read in the class 7. A line and M line just caught by transverse line, let it be P line. You have got it, this is the corresponding angles, this is also corresponding angles. If these two angles are equal, then definitely we can say that A lines is parallel to which line? M line. Because three properties are there. One is what? Corresponding angles. One is corresponding angles. Second one is alternate angle. Alternate angles. Third one is allied angles. What do you know about allied angles? Allied angles means it is called co-interior angles. See, in these angles, these two are corresponding and this corresponding angles are equal, so that L is M parallel. That theorem is what? When two line is caught by a transverse line, if the corresponding angles are equal, or if the alternate angles are equal, or the allied angles are supplementary, then we can say that these two lines are parallel. And also the reverse is also true. If two lines are parallel caught by a transverse line, then corresponding angles are equal, alternate angles are equal, and allied angles are supplementary. See, so this is the previous knowledge. From the previous knowledge we can get it. Now what happens? From this figure usually you can say that EF is parallel to BC. You got one thing, EF is parallel to BC now. Now you clear? Then come the second things. Again measure what is the length of EF and what is the length of BC. What is the length of EF and what is the length of BC. We found that if EF is equal to, what is the sides would be the length of EF, it is found that EF is equal to what? Half of BC. If we will measure it, definitely if it will come 2 centimeter, definitely it will come what much? 4 centimeter. So what we got it? So EF is equal to what? Now half of BC. We got this one. So two things we can get it here. One is EF is parallel to BC and EF is half of BC. From these two equations, the fundamental concepts, from these two fundamental concepts, we are coming to the theorem, that is midpoint theorem. So now students, we will go for the writing about the midpoint theorem. What is the theorem? You all open your copy and write it down. What is midpoint theorem? So the midpoint theorem is what? The line joining between the midpoints of two sides. The line joining between the midpoint of two sides of any triangle is parallel to third sides. Is parallel to third sides, and the line segments joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third sides. Write this one. The line joining to the midpoints. The line joining to the midpoints of the two sides is parallel to the third side. Is parallel to the third side. This is the theorem. This is the midpoint theorem. Clear it all? So we can now get it. Midpoint theorem is what? The line joining to the midpoint of the two sides of a triangle. Two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. Here what happens? You see, E is the midpoint of AB. F is the midpoint of AC, so that EF after joining EF is parallel to the BC. We have to prove it. How we'll prove it now? So we'll go on step by step. So students, now you just clear about the two things already what I have told you. Now you come to the figures. I am just reverse erasing it. So we can go for our particular proof of the theorem, and it is very important. It is coming to the examination and it carries 4 marks. So you have to construct, you have to what is given the data, then what to prove and how to prove. This carries totally comprises 4 marks in your examinations. So very simple, by constructing, just draw another line CD here. Just constructing another line, just you draw that CG, clear, and produce EF towards the meeting at the D points of the figure. Now you construct what? Now CG parallel to AB. By making parallel to AB, draw another line CG, clear, and produce EF along the direction of F, and join CG at D points. At D points. So what is the then? My question is that to prove, we have to prove it is what? EF parallel to BC and EF is equal to half of BC. This is to prove. Then what is the construction? Come among the construction. So what we will do? Draw CG parallel to BC at point C. At point C, and extend EF in the direction, extend EF in the direction F, so that it meet CG at point D. Clear all of you? This is the construction of yours. Now we have to prove it. How? This EF is parallel to BC and EF is equal to half of BC. Okay, fine. Students, okay, come to the points now. You see, we have got it now. The question is very simple here. Now you have seen in this here AEF is a triangle and FCD is also another triangle. Yes or no? AEF is a triangle and FCD is also a triangle. See, since E is the midpoint, so what I can get? AE is equal to B first. You see, we have to write this one. AE is equal to B. Why? Because E is the midpoint. Again, AF is equal to FC. Yes or no? This is given. AF is equal to FC. What? Because F is the midpoint of AC. That is already given. So AE is equal to B. AF is equal to FC. Clear? This is already given to us. And now in these two triangles AEF and FCD, we have to prove the congruency of these two triangles. You know, students, congruence of two triangles are what? There are 4 criteria to congruent two triangles. What are they? That is also again I am recapitulating. One is by the rules of side rules, side angle rules, angle side angles rules, and right angle, hypotenuse and sides. Right angle, hypotenuse and sides. 2 minutes. So fine. Now in these two triangles you can see now AF is equal to FC, because this one F is the midpoints. So in triangle AEF and in triangle FCD. FCD, what is there? Now AF equal to FC. Why AF equal to FC? Because F is the midpoint. F is the midpoint. Clear? Next, you can see that EF extended up to FD. And it is with that EF equal to FD. EF equal to FD because by construction you have made it. So EF equal to FD, and you know that this angle is what? Vertical opposite angles, and vertical opposite angles are equal. So that we can write AF and E is equal to CF and D. CF and D. So by angle, side angle congruent rules, side, angle, side. What? Two sides of a triangle, and if its corresponding angle is equal to two sides of the triangles and the corresponding angles of the another triangle, these two triangles are congruent. So you can say that by angle, side angles rules, AEF angle triangle is congruent to triangle FCD. FCD. Clear? So when these two triangles are congruent, it is very much clear that this side is equal to this side. Yes or no? Why? Because this one equal to this one by CP/CTC, corresponding part of a congruent triangles are congruent. Since these two triangles are congruent, any sides, any other things, that is also congruent. So that this is equal to this is clear. If this equal to this, and we are clear that AB is parallel to CD, definitely AB is equal to CD, and AB is parallel to CD, AE is equal to BE. Clear? That means BE is parallel to CD. Sure, AB is parallel to CD. Now we can get AE equal to CD by CP/CTC. Clear? By CP/CTC. Now AE is parallel to CD. So AB parallel to CD means BE is parallel to CD. BE is parallel to CD. So that EBCD is what? It is a parallelogram. You know that when the quadrilaterals having opposite sides are parallel and equal, it is a parallelogram. So that we can say that BECD is a parallelogram. Clear? So it is a parallelogram now. Clear? This is equal to, this was opposite sides, ED equal to BC, and you know that EF is equal to half of ED because FD. So EF is parallel to BC. So your concept now clear. EF is parallel to BC, and we can see that if EF is equal to FD and EF is equal to FD, already we have got it now. One thing is proved, EF is equal to, EF is parallel to BC. Now very simple, we can say that how EF is equal to half of BC. Now you can show me. See, ED is equal to BC. ED equal to BC because it is a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal and parallel. And EF is equal to what? FD. Tamane EF, that means EF is equal to half of what? ED. That means half of BC. The second one is also proved. So EF is equal to half of BC. This is actually the midpoint theorem, and students, it is very much careful when we are proving one theorem. You have to write the theorem name, given datas, construction, and then proof. So bit by bit, data cut carrying 1 marks, and your proof carrying 1 mark, construction 1 mark, then the details of the proof will carry another marks, so that you can totally you are getting full marks. Thank you students, all of you. I think you have enjoyed my class. Hope for the best. We again will meet next tomorrow classes. Thank you all.